What's going on, guys? I wanted to make a video today discussing the gear that I plan on bringing with me out west when I go to chase elk this year. This is not going to include my clothing system. This is not going to include my bow, my arrows, anything like that. This is just strictly going to be what is actually inside my pack when I'm hiking in to set up camp and chase bulls in the backcountry. So let's just get right into it. First thing I want to discuss, this is the tent that I'm running. Oh, actually that's my sleeping bag. This is the tent that I'm running. This is the King's Camo XKG Summit 2-person tent. And one thing I do actually want to touch on before I even go in depth with any of this is I am not an experienced elk hunter. I've gone on one elk hunt in my entire life, so this year's going to be the second. I'm not an experienced backpacker. I'm not an experienced camper. So this whole video is from the perspective of someone who is really, really green at all of this and is just extremely passionate and has put all of their time and effort into learning everything they can through a computer screen and through very limited in-person experience. This is the gear that I've come up with, and in the few outings that I've been out west, it has served me very well. But definitely, if anyone has better ideas or things they think I should know, feel free to leave it down in the comments. I'm still learning. I am by no means an expert on any of this. This is just what I've been using and what's worked for me, but I'm very confident that I will be changing some of these things around as time goes on, because like I said, as time goes on, you learn, and I'm sure there can be other things that I can be using, but right now that's what works for me. So this is the King's Camo XKG Summit 2-person tent. Really love this tent. Essentially, it's bulletproof. Everything that I've tested, it's going through some pretty serious weather. Kept me warm, kept me dry, kept me out of the wind and the rain. Packs down real light, real small. Got nothing bad to say about it. Also from King's is their 20-degree mummy sleeping bag. Really like this. I got down to about 26 or 27 degrees last year when I was in Colorado, and I was able to stay really warm in this. So, big fan of this bag. Same thing, compresses down real small. Nothing bad to say about it. Staying on the same thread of camp, sleeping, this is going to be the sleeping pad that I run. This is a Climate Static V-Long sleeping pad. Packs down super, super small, and you just blow it up. Just takes a couple breaths to blow it up. Really like this. Served me well. I have another sleeping pad. This is generic. Bought it off Amazon. I forget. Actually, here it is. This is an Ozark Trail. This foam sleeping pad. Between the two, like I've already said, I'm going to be using this personally if I do go on a solo trip. However, on this trip coming up, my dad's going to be coming with me, so we're both going to be out there, and I'm going to let him decide whichever one he wants. Both of them are comfortable, warm, and really there's not too much of a difference between the two of them. Besides, this one obviously is bigger. It doesn't pack down small at all, but also there's no chance of it popping and getting ruined like the inflatable. So, 2 sleeping pads. If it was just me going solo, I'd be bringing this, but I'll let my dad pick, and either one is fine. Staying on the camp life for a minute. This is again, I don't even know what brand is that makes this, but I picked this up before I went out to Colorado, and it was definitely a luxury item, which I plan on having with me all the time. It's just a little light that hangs up from the top of the tent, and this might be, again, super basic knowledge for a lot of people, but from a guy that really has next to no camping backcountry experience, this thing was a total game changer. Being able to get up in the middle of the night, whether it be I wanted to go out of the tent or I wanted to rummage through my gear or whatever, having this light just hanging right above me, hands-free, was real nice. That was a pleasure that I didn't expect to have, and I'm glad that I did. On the same thread, this is a Grand Trunk hammock. I think I got it for 20 bucks off of Amazon. This is just again, another in-camp feature that'll be real nice to have when I'm eating, or before we go to sleep, or when we're waking up making coffee in the morning. having a place to sleep, or take a nap, or eat your food or whatever next to the fire. Definitely comfortable. The guy that I went to Colorado with last year had, I believe, the exact same hammock, and packs down to essentially nothing, and it was extremely nice to have several different times, especially midday if we took a nap. That was super, super nice. Let's see, what do I want to go to next? Standard first aid kit, right off of Bass Pro. Standard stuff inside of here. And also I added my own little thing. Got some some weatherproof matches, got different types of gauze, bandages, you know, basic first aid. Hopefully you never need it, but much better to have it just in case. I do plan on self-filming. Well, my dad might be helping me out with the filming a little bit, but so now going to camera gear, something that you guys might realize throughout this video is I don't remember the exact names of a lot of this stuff. I know this is a GoPro that my girlfriend got me a couple years ago. I forget the exact model of it, but it's worked great for me over the years. No reason to change. Have a very cheap, basic Amazon tripod that I'm going to be bringing with me, as well as a chest mount, which I'm going to be having a bino harness on me most of the time, so I'm not too sure how often I'm going to be using that, but it'll be nice to have in case this situation does arise. I got a camera bag here. This is to actually hold my DSLR which is what I'm filming with right now, when I'm hiking in. It'll also hold extra batteries, charging cables, things like that, SD cards. In the bag, I will also have this SD card reader, which you don't really need it. I'm not going to be posting too much stuff on social media or anything like that when I'm out there, but if a situation does arise where I want to download some photos or video off of my camera onto my phone, I'll be able to do that with this little device, and I can put that right here inside of my camera bag. Moving on, I do have two ultralight pullouts here from Kafaru. This first one here is going to be pretty much a survival kit. I have, what do I have here? This is obviously full box from Pyro Putty. This is their dual arc plasma lighter. And the reason I'm planning on bringing this whole little box with me is inside I obviously have the lighter itself, charging cord, and then on top of that I have a lighter, an actual lighter, some Pyro Putty, two things of Pyro Putty here, and this is just a little fire starter kit outside of my main fire starter in case things go awry, which they definitely can out in the woods on the mountain. Hopefully they won't, but definitely they can. What else I have? If I had to guess, this is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 feet of cordage. These are some, what are they? Collins? I don't know how exactly to pronounce that, but just some basic fire starter sticks. These things, I've tested them out before. Really easy to start a fire with them. They light super easy and they burn for a really long time, burn real slow. So, big fan of those. And then also in here, I have two backup flashlights. Again, just in case. I don't plan on ever really needing these between headlamps and things like that. And then this little lamp for my tent. But, same thing. Nice to have. Nice little thing to keep in the pack. And on top of all of this, a backup buck knife, which I'm going to get sharpened up before we leave. All of this is stuff that, some of it I will plan on using. Fire starter, cordage, I'm sure it'll get used. These backup flashlights, hopefully they don't. Backup fire starter, backup lighter, hopefully that's not really necessary, but you know, you never know. Even if it's something as simplistic as losing something when I'm out there, dropping something, I have extras. So, that's what's in here. That is tied up. The second ultralight pullout I have is not filled right now. It will be before I leave, obviously, but this is going to hold just daily essentials. I'm going to have some basic things like Q-tips, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap. This is just a little handheld washcloth to clean myself off a little bit if I have time. Things like that, just daily essentials. That'll be in here. If I can get this closed. There. Kind of going on the same thread is just, this is going to be my main knife that I'm having on me all the time. Just a basic Damascus blade. And now I'm second guessing if I'm even pronouncing that right. A good blade, good sharp blade that stays sharp even after using it for a while. That's going to be on my side essentially all the time. Hopefully I end up putting down an elk. This will be what I'm using to process that elk in field. Going on that same thread, some game bags, which up until now have stayed in this plastic bag. Hopefully this year they get taken out and used. But I got these from Bass Pro Shop, and they are, again, going on the same thread of this entire video. I don't remember the exact company name, and I don't feel like opening up this bag right now, but just basic game bags, nothing special about them, just first thing that popped up when I went on to Bass Pro and took a look at them. So, what else here, what else? This is something that I believe is extremely imperative. Like I said, in one of the ultralight pullouts, I am going to be having some backup flashlights with batteries in them, but a rechargeable headlamp. I'm going to be having probably 2 or 3 of these that I'm bringing out there with me. These are imperative. Going out from camp in the morning, coming back in the dark, if you do end up, shooting an animal, tracking it in the dark, processing it in the dark, that would all essentially be impossible without one of these. So definitely recommend rechargeable headlamps. And again, I like rechargeable. I don't like battery operated headlamps, just because I've had so many issues with them dying super quickly, and I don't feel like carrying a bunch of packs of batteries out in the woods. That's just not my thing, not what I want to do, and the rechargeable headlamps have just worked really well for me in the past. Pretty basic here. It's just a Primos foldable saw, whether it be cutting firewood or really anything. I just think it's a really good thing to have. Cutting firewood, making up a makeshift ground blind, whatever. Cutting some things down around camp for whatever reason. I think something like this is a must-have, and I think it'll be getting used a lot when I'm out there. So that's all this. I don't want to get confused. A couple things that I think are necessary. I am going out with a bow. I am an archery hunter. A couple things that I want to have with me are a set of Allen keys. This set of Allen keys, I've had it since I was a little kid. Same thing. I don't know what brand. I don't really think it matters. But this little set of Allen keys, I'm able to adjust every single thing on my bow with this one set. So anything that I could need an Allen key for my bow, I have right here. And a little thing of string wax in case the strings start getting frayed up. Going off that same thread, this is my bino harness. This is I believe it's the Sitka Mountain Optics harness, I believe. I just recently got this, and it is awesome. Definitely worth the money in my opinion. Inside the main pouch here, my Vortex 10x42s. Really, really like those binos. Super clear glass. And in the pocket here, I have my main release, the UltraView hinge. Can close that right up. And in the other pocket, I will have my rangefinder. This is the Vortex Ranger 1800. Big fan of that rangefinder. Has not let me down yet. A few things that I will be carrying regarding this rangefinder. I do have some extra batteries that are over there. Forgot to bring them out on the counter. But I will be bringing an extra battery or two for the rangefinder just in case they do die while I'm out there. Just progressing, going across the table here. Okay, getting into getting into food. So, peak refuel. This is going to be more than likely my main source of calories while I'm out in the woods. I used them last year. I was a fan. I will say, though, that my initial plan when I went out there and set up camp was to only eat these meals. Everyone reacts to things differently. My stomach was not a big fan of this when I only ate these, but as soon as I switched up after 2 or 3 days, and I included some regular, normal food, oatmeal, sandwiches that I brought in from the truck, with these, my stomach immediately felt way better, and I felt way better. So I'll be bringing probably one of these for each day that I plan on hunting, and then I might bring like 1 or 2 extra, and then some regular food outside of that. Just a little plastic fork, spoon, knife kit for when it is time to eat. This is my jet boil. I'm going to be flying out there, so I can't bring the fuel canisters on the plane, so I'll be getting the fuel canisters when I get out there. But this jet boil has been super awesome, super easy to use, no complaints whatsoever. Another thing that I used last year, was a big fan of, was 2 things here actually. These are Mountain Ops Ignite trail packs. I got these in Citrus Bliss. These were awesome. Waking up in the morning, having some of these. I'm not a fan of black coffee, so the guys I was with, they were drinking black coffee, and I just couldn't really get it down. But this stuff was awesome to start off my day with, and then even having a second one possibly throughout, like in the middle of the day. Super tired from hiking. These were a great pick-me-up. Another thing I don't have here right now is Liquid IV. Having those in the evenings after a long day of hunting, those were awesome. Right before I went to bed, it's just a powdered drink mix similar to this, same type of packaging, and those were awesome. Highly recommend. Basic bottle. I plan on having water on my side throughout the day. This is not the bag I'm going to be bringing, but this is the frame that I'm going to be bringing from Kafaru. And as you can see here, I have just a standard little pouch for my water that I'll have with me throughout the day. So there's that. Going off of water, so I'm going to have this bottle, like I said, only clean water will be going in here. I'll have that on my side throughout the day when I'm hiking. This is a standard 4-liter bladder that I got from some store. I don't remember where. It's called the Seeker water storage bag, actually. So I do have a name for this one. But same thing, ultralight, rolls up to essentially nothing, and then pretty good sized bladder. This amount of water will last me about a day between what I'm drinking and then making the peak refuel meals in the evenings or the mornings. So what I would do, staying on the water topic, this is my main water filtration system. This is the Sawyer squeeze system. So what I would do is I would fill the bags that they give you in this little system here, and then I'd squeeze it through the filter, fill my bladder up, fill my bottle up, fill everything up, so dirty water could stay in here. And I've actually done that. I've filled these bags up with dirty water and brought them back to camp and filtered them out later. But whenever I would go to fill up water, I'd take a little bit extra time and I'd fill up these 2 things with clean water. So when I left the creek, all of my ways that I could carry water all are filled up with clean water that I could drink as soon as I got back to camp. This is the little life straw that I got. Haven't had to use it. The squeeze system that I got works fine, but I do think it's a good thing to have in the pack. Again, just in case, you never know what's going to go down when you get out there. In case you do have to filter some water on the fly. Continuing on into some technology stuff. So, these are only 2. I'm actually probably going to bring 3 power banks. This will allow me to charge a couple things. This will allow me to charge my phone. This will allow me to charge my camera batteries. I don't think I'll have to charge my inReach, which I'll talk about in a second, but in case I do, I'll be able to charge it with this. Different wires, chargers, again, for iPhone, for the inReach, for whatever. Here I have a solar charger. So the system that I did last year was I would use the solar charger to charge up one or two of my power banks throughout the day. I just let it sit out in the sun. I let it charge up the power banks, and then when I got back at the end of the day, usually a good amount of juice was put into them, as long as it wasn't cloudy. And then at night, I would take the power banks, and one of these power banks, for example, charging my phone, this thing can charge my phone 2 or 3 times over. And then when you have your phone on airplane mode throughout the day, you're barely using it, that will get you through a good amount of days out in the woods. Now, for me, having to worry about the camera batteries, it definitely takes a little bit more time. That's why I bring so many of the portable chargers and the solar charger, but it works out. Solar charger for the power banks for my stuff. That's the system that works for me. This might be one of the most important, this is the most important piece of gear that I have on this entire table. This is the Garmin inReach Mini 2. I didn't have this when I was out in Colorado last year. I had to rely on my buddy's Garmin, which was fine, but not having my own means of communication with my family back home, I really didn't like that. So pawned it up, got my own, and this will allow me to stay in touch with everyone and let everyone know that I'm safe when I'm out doing my thing this year. Big plus here. You can notice the screen is super small, so you can do everything on here, but really the best way to do it is you can connect it to your phone through Bluetooth. You can connect it to your phone through Bluetooth, and then you can do everything right on your phone. You can look at maps, you can track, you can message loved ones back home, everything right through your phone, like you would be texting someone or looking at maps like normal. Let's see, what else? This is 2 things here. My apologies for everything being a little bit jumbled together, but that's okay. Little plastic bag with some lens wipes. I don't wear glasses, so really it's only going to be used for my camera and my binos, potentially my rangefinder, although I don't see that happening, but you never know. Little lens cloth, weighs nothing, good to have in the pack. And this is just an emergency, I thought this was a good idea, emergency poncho. I keep this in my bag. It takes up a little bit of space, but weighs really nothing. And then, really worst case scenario, I do have a rain jacket. I haven't yet gotten any rain pants, but I don't foresee this really being an issue. But if I'm out there and all of a sudden you get caught in a serious storm, having a big poncho like this, like I said, folds down to nothing, weighs nothing, and this could really keep you dry, which could save you. So that's that. What else we got? That's essentially everything on the table. There are a few things I don't have on the table, which I'll mention right now. First is going to be a set of trekking poles. I had a set of REI brand trekking poles out in Colorado. They were good. I liked them. They weren't great, so I opted to get a new set this year, which I haven't gotten yet. I'm in the middle of doing some research there on what it is exactly I want to get. But a set of trekking poles and dude wipes. I think we all know what those are for. I don't have any left from last year. I got to get some more before I go out there. But you definitely need something to take care of business when nature calls. So that's essentially all that's on the table, and including what is not on the table. Now I have a couple things on the side here that I do want to talk about. I'm planning on making another video pretty soon regarding clothing. So I don't want to go too in-depth here, but this is such an incredible piece of gear that I have. This is probably what I've been more impressed with than anything on this entire table and all my testing are these crispy boots. These are the Idaho GTX boots, non-insulated. I have put these boots through a lot of miles and a lot of hell over the last 2 or 3 years since I got them. They have never let me down once. They're by far the most comfortable shoe that I own. Totally waterproof. I've never had my feet get wet at all, walking through creeks, walking through wet grass in the mornings. Really good ankle support. There were a couple times last year that I felt myself, oh yeah, my ankle definitely would have given out there, but these boots helped me out a lot. Super comfortable. Near the end of the trip, going on day, I think, 5 for me, I had 1 or 2 hot spots come up on my feet, but that was it, and I was easily fixed up with some moleskin. Yeah, if you're going to get boots, highly recommend putting good money towards boots, whatever you can afford with the boots. These will definitely be a game changer for sure. I highly, highly recommend Crispy boots, and these Idaho GTX boots have served me incredibly well. Now, going off of packs, I know I talked about it a little bit before. This is not the pack that I'm going to be hiking in with. This is a 22 mag. This is what I wear back on the East Coast whitetail hunting. This will carry all my self-filming gear, stuff like that, but no way that it would fit all of this stuff laid out in front of me. However, I do plan on bringing this bag with me as a day pack. I can take this off of the frame. I have the, I think this is the 24-inch tactical frame from Kafaru as well. But yeah, this pack, the 22 mag, can come off the frame, fold down super small. I can fit it on the outside of my bag or inside my bag or whatever. And then once I hike in, set up camp, I can take my main bag off and use this as a day pack. It'll just be, I think, more comfortable to carry around on a day-to-day basis. On the back of my bag here on the frame, so right here, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but this is a little camera clip from a company called Peak Design. This allows me to take my DSLR, I would show it to you, but I'm filming with it right now so I can't. This allows me to hold my DSLR right on my shoulder here. So the way it works, it's just a little mounting bracket that mounts right onto the strap of your backpack, and then there's this little plate that connects to the bottom of the camera, and the way it works is it slides into the slot here, just like that. That's not going to go anywhere. It's going to sit there right on your chest when you need it, and all you have to do is, again, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there's a button here you can press. You press that button, and you can slide it right out. So that's that. One thing I do want to touch on for a second, I am going to be carrying a sidearm with me while I'm out there. A lot of people say it's not necessary. So, you guys might notice I don't care. I want to carry a sidearm with me whenever I can, and that's what I plan on doing. Camera dying makes unexpectedly, but as I was just saying, on my side, this is a holster from the holster I plan on running for my sidearm. It's from a guy. He runs a little company called JC Custom Kydex. You can look him up on Instagram. He has a lot of cool stuff, reasonably priced in my opinion, ships out really fast, and it's definitely high quality. Before I end up leaving for my hunt, I probably am going to make a video more directly related to what I plan on having on my side when I'm out there. But if I'm being totally honest, I don't feel as though I am well versed enough in firearms and sidearms and all of that to be able to talk to you guys in a way that is really educational and safe. I know enough so that I know I'm safe. I know personally how to run a firearm, but I don't think that I, as of right now, should be a voice that people should listen to regarding firearms. I just don't think that I'm there, so I'm not going to touch on that right now. But I did want to say that is the holster I plan on running from JC Custom Kydex. Big fan. Like I said, 22 or 24, I believe this is the 24-inch tactical frame with a 22 mag as my day pack. And then as a main pack, which I'm using to hike into camp and carry all of my gear, this is the Kafaru Fulcrum. Absolutely love this bag. It has space on space on space on space. I'm definitely a pack rat. That is something that I am most definitely going to need to alter as time goes on. But for right now, I definitely bring more than less, and that bag allows me to do it rather comfortably, even though it is a lot of weight. But, so, I'm trying to think. I think that is pretty much it. Like I said, I may or may not be making a video more closely relating to my sidearm and what I plan on bringing with me. Excuse me, when I go out west. I will definitely be making a video fairly soon regarding my clothing system, my thickness system for out there. I will be making a video regarding. I might be making a video regarding my bow setup specifically for this hunt, my arrow setup. And yeah, it's already June, and I'll be going out late August, and before we know it, it'll be here. So I'm getting very, very excited. This is going to be an amazing trip, and I think I have a pretty good layout here for what I need. But I cannot stress this enough. I am very green at all of this. I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that everyone should listen to me and buy the gear that I have. All I'm saying is what I have from my research. I like how it works. It's worked for me, but I'm very new to this. So if anyone watching this video has any ideas or any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. I will read all the comments and I'll get back to all of you because I really do value your opinion and your thoughts from people that I'm sure have more experience than me, because I have very little. But alright guys, I think that is it. That is everything I have laid out here on the table. I'm sure I'm going to remember exactly a few of the things that I forgot as soon as I turn off the camera. But listen, thank you so much for watching. If you did watch this far, please like, comment, subscribe. Again, if any of you have any ideas or tips, tricks, whatever, feel free to leave them down below. You'll definitely be helping me. You might be helping somebody else watching this video as well, reading the comments. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Hunt smart, hunt safe, shoot straight. See you in the next one.